past, but not. And as it goes past, Sister Susie grabs what from its lower regions?
Caprinias for us all today, which is made with cachaça, which is from Brazil. Think of mojitos, but without the rum and with something else instead. Because I'm celebrating that it's still light outside.
It is still light, and it's going to be light for at least another hour, roughly speaking.
Wow,
give
brilliant.
or take. So tonight's tale comes from Graham. Graham, thank you very much indeed for Monday's confession. You get the smart speaker. Good evening, Simon, Matt and Susie. I'm looking for forgiveness for an event that happened in the early 1970s. I mean, a lot of people start their email like that. When my father was based in Cyprus and I was a young schoolboy. I was the eldest of 4 in the family, 12 at the time. And like many school children of the forces, I was sent back to the UK for schooling and then spent some of my holidays in Cyprus with my parents. This particular summer, 2 of my cousins had been invited to stay with us. These 2 young boys, slightly younger than me, were known to be mischievous and always got themselves into trouble. Now, Cyprus, as you might know, in the height of summer can be extremely hot. But my mother had decided it was best that we as a family do some sightseeing before it got to the peak of the season. So she suggested that we visit a particular castle which was built and used by the Crusaders called Colossi Castle, capital K. It was only a short drive from the British base in Episcopi and where we lived, and at our arrival, my mother parked the car under a shaded tree. This castle is very similar to the Tower of London in shape, but instead of the London rain, this is in the fierce sunshine and was built from dry stone and had a small drawbridge. My mother and my sisters entered a small wooden shack, which was the ticket office to pay for entry for all of us, whilst me and my cousins waited opposite the drawbridge for her return. Being boys, we were mucking around, and I then noticed above the drawbridge entrance a swarm of black buzzy things, which I was fairly certain were flies, maybe blue bottles at the most. I grabbed a stone from the ground. By the way, I should have said,
Yeah.
don't do any of the things which Graham is about to do.
Okay.
I grabbed a stone from the ground and decided to bombard this large swarm of obviously black flies with stones. My cousins joined in. It seemed such fun.
Okay.
It's the 1970s.
Yeah.
After many misses, I finally got a beauty right into the middle of them. Well, these guys were not happy, and they started to swarm, and they swarmed down to where we had been and decided to give us a little bit of what was called at the time, I believe, aggro. They were, as it turned out, not flies or even blue bottles, not even bees or wasps, Father Simon, but actually hornets.
Oh, dear.
They swarmed down onto us boys, and we all ran into the lake fully clothed. We dived under the water to save ourselves, as you would. Once they couldn't get to us, these rotten hornets headed to the ticket office, and I have never seen so many old people run as fast as they could to join us in the lake by the castle. Old and young, they tore into the water, submerging themselves regardless of whether they were wearing posh frocks or casual slacks and jackets. If you went to a castle in the 1970s, if you weren't wearing slacks, you were in trouble. What a bedraggled bunch we all were, Father Simon. The visitors on top of the castle, of course, got the best view as they could see all of us running towards the lake and diving into the water to avoid these pesky hornets. We all had to be... Here's the rub. We all had to be taken to the hospital on base to have the hornet stings removed from our hair.
Ooh.
Which was extremely painful, and we were given the right cream and so on. We were all very lucky that we weren't hospitalized. When asked by my mother who actually caused this event, I was quick to blame my cousins, of course, as they had a history of this kind of thing. Naughty was their middle name. That's what small cousins are for, don't you think? Yep. Passing on the blame. She believed me, and they were duly punished. So, Simon, Matt and Susie, I request forgiveness from you for all those people in the ticket office who were stung and never saw the castle, my mother for the little white lie, but mainly my lovely cousins, who grew up to be superb members of the community. One was a royal protection officer for a popular royal family. Oh. I mean, we're keeping that not very vague, whoever they might be. And the other is a senior captain at a well-known airline.
Oh, right.
Okay, well, that kind of narrows it down, but clearly nothing, they all turned out fine in the end. But a nasty business, Sister Susie. What do you say to Graham?
Yeah, well, I think I made my decision at the black buzzy things because it's never a good idea. Now, I know this was later than the 70s, but just reminds me of the My Girl film. It's dangerous. Could have been wasps, hornets, whatever they were, never ever good. And I just think those poor people in that ticket office got stung everywhere. No, thank you. Graham, should have been better.
So not forgiven. I haven't been stung by a hornet, but it sounds a very unpleasant business altogether. Brother from another gutter?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say that these hornets were probably going to sting people anyway. That's the very essence of being a hornet, is they were on the lookout for it. And it just, I can't believe that they would have followed them because they chucked a stone at them. I don't think hornets are that intelligent. So, and everyone else did very well.
The hornets wouldn't have done anything
straight into the leg. No, I think the hornets, they're hell-bent on, I'm going to sting things and leave my sting, and everyone else is going to have to go and get cream in the hospital. Everyone turned out fine in the end, and, the cousins probably had it coming. If they weren't to blame for that one, they were probably to blame for something else. So, for that reason, I'm going to forgive.
Have you ever done jury service?
Never. Show me the way.
That would be a scary prospect. Excuse me, Your Honour. Anyway...